Welcome to this James the Bike Guy, where today we're getting to take a look at a incredibly fast race bike from Specialized. The bike that combines some aerodynamic performance, lightweight climbing, and then stiffness to be incredibly fast and explosive. And today, this is the Tarmac SL7 Comp. So this is the least expensive one in the lineup, albeit not an inexpensive bike. And we're going to go into the features and designs of this bike, talk about what it's all about, and then of course we're going to find out exactly what it weighs. So if this kind of thing is interesting to you, I suggest you stick around and let's check out this super bike together. So to begin the conversation about this Specialized Tarmac SL7, we should talk a bit about the genesis of where this bike comes from and then where this is in Specialized's current road bike lineup. So this being the Tarmac SL7, that means this is the 7th generation of the Tarmac. Now it's been out for a couple of years, but in 2022, the comp version has been refreshed with some wireless electronic shifting from SRAM and a couple of cool touches as well. But the Tarmac SL7 blends together aero and lightweight features to be able to create one race bike. Now, in previous years, when Specialized had their SL6, it was accompanied by something called a Venge. And instead, Specialized for the SL7 bike has combined that Venge Aero bike with the SL6's lightweight performance to be able to create a bike that's quite a bit faster than the outgoing SL6. Now, over a 40-kilometer ride, they claim it's about 33 seconds faster than the SL6 version of the bike, which really puts it into that aero bike territory. And they do that by having this incredibly integrated front end, of course, a nice bladed aero fork, and then it goes through a more traditional rounded tube going down to the bottom bracket, a squarish oval top tube, and then you get to the seat tube and seat post junction, and you'll start to see that it's truncated airfoils. So this is an airfoil shape going down there. Then they have a divorced seat stay from top tube to help both get it a little more aerodynamic, and you've got the little kink that you used to see from the previous aero bike, the Venge. Now, all that comes together to allow this to be that kind of aerodynamic but performance race bike. Now, in Specialized lineup today, they've got this bike, which is the Tarmac SL7. They then have their Specialized Aethos, which is the totally lightweight and simplified version of a road bike. And then they have the more comfortable Specialized Roubaix. Now, speaking geometry-wise, this is going to be the most aggressive bike. So this is going to have the longest reach and the lowest stack, with the Aethos being just ever so slightly shorter and taller, and the Roubaix being considerably more upright and comfortable. And this Tarmac SL7 is going to be made out of their 10R carbon fiber. So their FACT carbon fiber is going to come in 2 different levels for 2022. All the bikes that are not S-Works are going to come with the 10R carbon, and then the S-Works version comes with their 12R carbon. The takeaway between those 2 bikes is going to be the amount of carbon and the type of layup that they're using between the bikes. And the short answer is about 120 grams of difference. So the S-Works version of this bike frame would come in at about 800 grams, whereas this one's supposed to come in at a claimed 920. Now, I haven't had a chance to have a comp level frame all on its own, but it is nice to hear that they're expecting that this bike should come in well under 1,000 grams with disc brakes. And along with those disc brakes, a couple other cool features. We did talk about the integrated cable routing, but then we've also got through axles front as well as rear. And then, of course, what people love to know is that it does have a threaded bottom bracket. And so all of that comes together, where this being the entry-level version in the Tarmac lineup gives you all the performance of, say, that S-Works level bike, but at a mere 120 gram weight penalty on the frame. So it's not a bad trade-off for the cost savings. Now, I hope you're enjoying this video on the SL7 Tarmac, and if you are, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, James the Bike Guy, all one word. But with that said, it is time to talk about components. So this being the comp level version, I said before this is the beginning level, but it's still coming with mid to high-end level componentry. So here is the Sram Rival drivetrain. So Rival AXS is their wireless operated drivetrain. It has 2 gears up front and then 12 in back going through this flat top chain. But that's not where the whole conversation ends, because it has a very unique gearing range. So up front is the 48 to 35 tooth chainring combo, and then out back is going to be a 10 to 36 tooth. And that allows this race bike to have lower than a 1-to-1 gear ratio, but still a top end speed that's going to allow it to be able to carry some real momentum in a pack or on a downhill. Now that stuff combined is going to shift electronically and wirelessly through these Sram Rival shifters. And these Rival shifters house a hydraulic brake mechanism and then a single paddle to shift up and down. So the right side you would hit to go to a harder gear, left side you would hit to go to an easier gear, or click them both together to shift the front derailleur. Now, this hydraulic brake system operates down on 2 piston calipers on the front and the rear with 160 millimeter centerline rotors. Keeping you connected to the bike is via some aluminum componentry up front and a bit of carbon out back. So up front, we've got a specialized alloy handlebar. These are going to be size specific to the bike. They're going to have a little bit shorter reach and drop compared to a lot of race bikes you'll see out there. But that's going to help with the position of this bike. And then you have a specialized alloy Tarmac stem with integrated cable routing. So it comes in underneath, right into the headset, and then into the bike. And out back is the body geometry power saddle. This body geometry power saddle uses chromoly rails, and it's mounted up on a SL7 carbon fiber Tarmac seat post. This seat post is specific to the bike. It's got an integrated clamp, so everything's nice and clean and put together. Rolling in for wheels are some DT Swiss R470 rims laced up to some Specialized hubs. Now this is a place that I really want to stress, especially when we get the weight of the bike, is going to be the limiting factor on this rig. So just about every other part spec on this is really, really nice. And in fact, these DT Swiss R470 wheels are on the less expensive and heavier side of things, but it gives a great place to upgrade in the future. And a lot of riders that are buying this bike would be getting a carbon fiber set of wheels or even carrying them over from the prior bike anyways. So a good secondary training wheel for bad days and bad weather, but a place that I would definitely recommend thinking about upgrading to match the rest of the really nice specs of this bike. Now the tires are decent at the Turbo Pro tire, which is the Gription compound tire from Specialized, a little bit of ribbing on the side, and then a nice smooth surface going through the center. These of course are running in a 700 by 26 millimeter width, but you can run up to a 30 millimeter tire on this Tarmac. The actual weight of the Tarmac SL7 comp in a size 54 comes in and weighs 19.1 pounds. In comparison, if we go ahead and weigh the Specialized Aethos comp, same parts level, the Tarmac comes in at 1.9 pounds heavier, or 0.86 kilograms. Well, thanks for watching this video on the 2022 Specialized Tarmac SL7 comp. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this bike down in the description below. I'd love to know if you think this is a great way to get into a race bike. Would you see yourself catching a KOM on this rig, or any thoughts like that down below? And while you're at it, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed what you saw.